Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining us at USA Global TV and Radio. Our show today is the United Kingdom News and Culture, episode 140. I'm your host, author DIANN Floyd Bain. Our team member, HELENA CHARD, is out on business today, but never fear, our Scottish co-host, Simon Macdonald, will keep us up to date on the royal news and the UK news. Now, some fun things to learn about our team member, Simon Macdonald. He is a fabulous chef, and I mean fabulous. I'd like to take cooking lessons from him. He is an author, a speaker, a sailor, and so much more. Please welcome Simon Macdonald.
Hi there, everybody. It's Wednesday again. Yippee! Look forward to this Wednesday afternoon show. It's such great fun as well. Oh, my goodness, Dan, what an introduction. My head's going like that just at the thought of it. But, it'd be a pleasure to give you cooking lessons and so on. But look at the recipes that you come up with as well, and particularly with your cakes. Wow. You should be the one giving me the lessons, I think.
I think that's called baking, though. You're so kind. Well, Simon, lots is happening here in the U.S., as you know, but I'm so excited to take a break from the U.S. news and hear all about all the beautiful things you're going to tell us about today. And for those listening for the first time, I want to thank you for joining us. You're going to be so amazed at what all Simon brings to this show and the wealth and knowledge of information. Simon, I learn from you every single week about Scotland. Oh my gosh, some amazing history you have. So with further ado, I'll let you start with the royal news and let you take it away and do whatever order you would like.
All right. Okay. Well, welcome too, because I'm going to blow you away with some of the facts and figures that I've got today as well. I've had quite a week of it looking through and researching and so on, come up with some absolutely amazing things. So anyway, looking at the royal roundup for the week, there's a fair wee bit's been happening as well. There we are, using Scottish terminology, a wee week. Anyway, Queen Camilla has been forced to cancel her forthcoming public engagements after falling ill with a chest infection. It's understood that the 77-year-old is recovering at home in Wiltshire and is being monitored closely by doctors. Due to her illness, Her Majesty has had to reluctantly withdraw from the annual opening of the Field of Remembrance at Westminster Abbey this Thursday. And as the daughter of a decorated war hero, Major Bruce Shand, her father, who earned 2 military crosses in the Second World War for his bravery, it's a duty she takes extremely seriously, and it really is just a sign of just how poorly she is actually feeling. Anyway, the Duchess of Gloucester, who's 78, who will step in for her. However, Camilla does very much hope to attend this weekend's remembrance events, including the ceremony at the Cenotaph on Sunday, which is always, an amazing thing. So Camilla will also have to cancel her appearance at a reception at Buckingham Palace in order of the nation's Olympic and Paralympic stars this Thursday as well. But King Charles, he'll still attend, and accompanied by his sister, Princess Anne, sometimes known as the Princess Royal, although I haven't heard her referred to that for a while. Anyway, moving on. Yes, I know it's election day, or it's just past election day in America now. Some people are celebrating, some are commiserating. Anyway, meanwhile, Kamala Harris has spoken out in support of Meghan in particular in the past. The same can't be said of Donald Trump. In fact, Trump has made a series of damning statements about Meghan and Harry during the election campaign, and even suggested, on winning keys to the White House, the Duke of Sussex could be deported from the United States because he lied in his application for citizenship. And Trump is going to be looking at that one very closely, I believe. So watch this space. Prince William, he's currently in South Africa, and he's told 15 Earthshot Prize finalists, we're here for you, as he pledged his support for the planet-saving ideas. And the prize giving is actually taking place in Cape Town tonight. So Prince of Wales met with those vying for the 5 £1 million prizes to scale up their ideas after the glittering ceremony. So this year's finalists are selected from nearly 2,500 nominees submitted by the prize's network of more than 430 nominators from 75 countries. At the stunning Kirstenbosch National Botanic Gardens at the foot of Table Mountain. That's where they're having it all. The Prince has been posing for pictures with the group and saying, you're just all amazing. You should be immensely proud of yourselves. And so they should too, in fantastic work that's going on there. Moving on, Lady Louise Windsor, who's the daughter of Edward and Sophie, the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh, will, like so many royals before her, have cause for celebration as she reaches her 21st birthday this Friday in November. So happy birthday in advance. Lady Louise is proving to be intelligent, duty-focused spokesperson for the monarchy, and it's a time when it's never really been in greater need for dependable figureheads. Catherine, Princess of Wales, she's reportedly back in the gym in what seems like a decidedly positive step into getting back into life as normal after her cancer treatment ended. As anyone works out knows, a workout routine has all kinds of benefits, and it seems probable that Kate has been able to enjoy these benefits for quite some time while she was undergoing treatment. Well, we don't know exactly what cancer Catherine, Prince of Wales, was being treated for, or the exact treatment, nor is it really our business. It seems likely that tiredness is one of the side effects. We do know that Kate has proven over the years that she's one of the most athletic royals, and she reportedly a fan of a mix of gym activities from yoga to weightlifting to running. So for her to have the energy to get back to moving her body like she used to, while building strength and endurance, it's huge. Hopefully, this is also a sign that she'll be able to start returning to more public appearances. We miss you, Catherine. King Charles. Well, he's officially cut ties with his brother, Prince Andrew, after severing him with his £1 million allowance. The brothers have been at loggerheads for months after Charles asked the younger brother to leave the £30 million Royal Lodge home in Windsor against his wishes. The decision came after it was reported that the king, who controls the royal household finances, could soon struggle to meet the annual upkeep of the prince's 30-room home. That house is actually needing a lot of work done. After months of infighting behind the scenes, the keeper of the privy purse has now been ordered to sever the Duke of York's £1 million a year personal allowance. Prince Andrew is holding firm and is determined to stay on in the Royal Lodge. Following disastrous floods that we've had, and it's been reported worldwide, around Valencia and Barcelona, the southeast coast of Spain, King Charles has written the following personal message to King Philip of Spain, which I thought was really, really good of him. And it reads thus: Your Majesty, my wife and I are utterly heartbroken to learn of the destruction and devastation following the catastrophic flooding in the southern and eastern Spain. So many in the United Kingdom have strong personal ties to Spain, and our nations are bound by so much that we have in common. We extend our most sincere and heartfelt condolences to you and to the people of Spain for the tragic loss of so many lives. Our special thoughts and prayers and deepest possible sympathy and with all those who have lost loved ones and livelihoods this terrible week. Signed, Charles R. Now, finally, the late Queen Elizabeth II, despite her access to the world's most exquisite cuisines, had a soft spot for a classic £10 takeaway. Her go-to comfort food was reportedly simple yet satisfying fish and chips, a good British staple. And that came from the local town of Ballater, to which she enjoyed during her stays at Balmoral Castle. A royal insider spilled the beans, so to speak, revealing that she occasionally treated herself to fish and chips when at Balmoral. A footman would be dispatched to get it from the local town of Ballater. Good on you, ma'am. That's it. I mean, fish and chips, there's just nothing like it. It's nourishing, but it's real comfort food as well. Fantastic.
I love fish and chips.
I have fish every single day. It's wonderful, and tonight we've got doing some haddock tonight, just almost fish and chip style, but eat an awful lot of salmon, shellfish, langoustine, lobster, things like that as well. So good for you. Really nutritious, simple to cook. People do tend to get scared about cooking fish. They think, what do we do with it? It's the easiest thing in the world to cook with, and very difficult to undercook, but it's actually quite easy to overcook.
That is really true. I've learned that. But I must say, Simon, salmon is my favorite, and I love shark because it's so nice and thick. It's like a steak, but fish.
Yeah, I mean, shark. It's never really comes on that much in the UK, but it's a cartilaginous fish, shark. I mean, they can be pretty big. They can be quite nasty at times as well. Some of them are okay, but it's a subtle flavour. But it is quite a firm meat. It's lovely.
It is lovely, and the news you brought was incredible. It's so lovely to hear that. Princess Kate is working out again. Mentally, that has to make her feel so strong inside,
Absolutely. Yes. I mean, she's a fantastic person. I mean, she really got thrown in at the deep end, work-wise, and when she joined the royal family. And, and she comes from, we're not going to say humble background, but a very different background to that of her husband. And she's just taken it in her stride, and she is, she really is quite something. And
she is, and she was born to be a queen. You could just see she's
no doubt about it.
No doubt about it. And what a great mom she is, and I do hope Queen Camilla feels better soon. There's nothing worse than feeling bad.
I think the lovely thing about William and Catherine is that they actually, their private life, they lead a fairly simple, straightforward life, same as anybody else. He's very conscious about switching the lights out. You're not in the room, switch the lights out. He gets they organize the kids. They prefer to cook for themselves as well. She's a very accomplished cook in her own right.
Wow.
And and the kids are all, they're taught all environmental issues and so on, and to be aware of it and to be in touch with people. And that's so important. So I think, it's the changing shape of the monarchy. And I think when William eventually takes over the reins, it'll be a very different monarchy than we've had in the past. I think Charles is a good stepping stone because he has changed and he's modernized it somewhat as well. Mm-hmm. But William, oh wow, that's going to make a huge difference.
Yeah, get ready, world. And on my stars, Andrew, just move.
Yeah, I mean, what's your problem? He's been offered Frogmore Cottage. And Frogmore Cottage is no longer a cottage. It's a very big, sprawling place. And it's completely modernized, it completely fitted out. It's got everything, right down to the new fridge and the kitchen sink. I mean, it's got a lot. So, Royal Lodge is crumbling around his ears.
Yeah.
And I think given the choice between the two, I mean, Frogmore is definitely the place to be. But he's just very stubborn in his ways, and that's it. Yeah.
Well, just shows you every family has inside fighting.
Oh boy, don't they just? And the thing is, of course, being in the limelight that the royals are living in this goldfish bowl, then everything gets picked up, and unfortunately gets obviously quite magnified at times as well. But at the end of the day, they're another family. So they have to open doors and close doors from themselves and so on, and they have to get in and out of bed. So they do exactly the same as we do.
That's exactly right. So would you like to move on to what we're learning about, or strangers?
Yeah, let's start off with we'll have a bit of fun with some strange but true. And I've been sort of looking around some various ideas today, and here we are. Here's one: the longest one-syllable word. Sorry, I shall start that again. The longest one-syllable word is screeched. Now, there we are. Now, come on, DIANN. You're an award-winning author. You should know these things. Now, the next thing is ketchup originated in China. It was a boiled-down brine of pickled fish and spices called ketchup, same as ketchup. The other thing about ketchup, it was actually once sold as a medicine. So there we are. Didn't know that one. Next thing we have here is originating in Berlin in 2008, aggressive sitting became a sport. Aggressive sitting? I don't know what aggressive sitting is, but it sounds fun anyway. Finally, they took the creator of the Rubik's Cube, Erno Rubik, 1 month to solve the cube after creating it. As of June 2018, the world record is 4.22 seconds. So I think he's learned a thing or two from his creation there. I mean, that is quite, that is quite something, really. I mean, 4.22 seconds. I think the guy must have picked up one that only had one little square to put in place, and that'd be it. So there we have some strange but true facts. And these things keep on pouring in. I'm hearing them all the time.
Wow. I'm going to keep eating ketchup. I knew there was a reason I loved it. It's medicine.
It's medicine. That's right. Yes, I know. I mean, I keep reminding myself whiskey's medicine as well.
That's true, too. In fact, a side note, and then I promise I'll let you go. So my mama, when she was born, she came early. And she was so tiny that in those days, I'll back up, you were born at home. You weren't born in the hospital. So the family doctor comes and does the delivery. And she was so tiny that the doctor threw her in the trash can. Well, by the time my great-grandmother came, which was very quickly, and she was a midwife, she asked where the baby was, and the doctor said, "Oh, that baby's not going to live. I put it in the trash can." Great-grandma took my mom out of the trash can, gave her whiskey and an enema, and obviously mother lived.
There we go. That's it. I hope it was a good Scotch whiskey as well.
So everyone have a dose of whiskey.
Oh, I'll need to remember that one. If I keel over, then just give me a whiskey. That'll sort me out. I'll be back on my feet in no time.
There you go. But those were some great, strange, but true. So I also know you've been working really hard on some great Scottish history. So let's give it a go.
Yeah, well, today it's a little bit different today. I mean, I've done so many different different topics and subjects and so on. A lot of it's been sort of war-based and war footing, so on. Well, we've got enough of that at the moment. So something a little bit lighter, but it's a bit different. Today I'm talking about the Loch Ness Monster, and affectionately known as Nessie. And it's a captivating mystery. It's said Nessie is said to inhabit the deep, dark waters of Loch Ness in the Scottish Highlands. And I know Loch Ness so well. I mean, it's beautiful. They're absolutely stunning. Now, this enigmatic creature has been a source of fascination and speculation for many generations. And the sheer size of Loch Ness which extends to over 23 miles in length and over 200 meters in depth, and holds more water than all the English and Welsh lakes combined, poses quite a challenge for exploration. So in 1933, a series of sightings sparked the modern Loch Ness Monster phenomenon. Oh, that's a good word to say at this day, phenomenon. Yeah, right. Anyway, 2023 marks 90 years since the first known photos of Nessie were taken by Hugh Gray. Since then, numerous sightings have emerged. Some have turned out to be hoaxes or natural phenomena, yet some remain tantalizingly unexplained. The legend of the Loch Ness Monster has ancient roots, with stone carvings by the Picts in the Highland region hinting to a strange aquatic creatures. Indeed, stories of a monster in the vicinity of the loch date back to the Middle Ages. St. Columba is said to have encountered a beast in the River Ness that flows from Loch Ness in 565 AD. There were a couple of alleged sightings in the 19th century, and then in 1933, several reports of Nessie emerged, starting with the Drumnadrochit hotel manager's Adley Mackay's claim of witnessing a whale-like creature in the loch. Now, there's a word to pronounce, Drumnadrochit. It's an amazing place. And the Inverness Courier, the local paper to Inverness, reported the story, suggesting calling the creature a monster. Later that year, George Spicer and his wife claimed to the same paper that they'd witnessed a large, long-necked creature crossing the car's path near the loch and then disappearing into it. Well, this triggered a series of reports of similar encounters. However, nevertheless, it was Hugh Gray's sighting that marked a key moment in the search for Nessie. When walking his dog near the village of Foyers on the 12th of November 1933, Gray took the first photograph alleged to depict the monster. However, it was later revealed to be an otter rolling about in the loch surface. Well, I think he might have had one or two whiskies of that, because otters are definitely not the size of you would expect the Loch Ness Monster to be. So the official register has now actually logged 1,156 sightings from records and other evidence stretching back through the centuries, many by credible witnesses. And amongst the most famous of these are the Rhines and Wyckoff sonar scans. In the early 1970s, researchers used sonar equipment to scan the depths of Loch Ness. Now, these scans indicated large, unexplained underwater objects, which some interpreted as a plesiosaur-like animals, sparking further speculation about Nessie's existence. However, these findings remain to this day inconclusive. Later searches in 2001 and 2008 led to discoveries of carcass and fungus-like organisms. Dear, wash your mouth out, Macdonald. Not normally found in freshwater lochs, suggesting a connection to the sea and a possible entry to the loch for a creature. The Loch Ness Monster legend is not without its share of hoaxes and fraudulent claims, with some individuals seeking to perpetuate the mystery for financial gain or amusement. One of the most iconic images of Nessie was taken by Dr. Robert Wilson, a respected London surgeon. Now, this is a well-known photograph called the surgeon's photograph, surprise, surprise, and that was in 1934. The photograph, showing a slender neck and a small head, and contributed to Nessie's fame. However, this was later revealed to be an elaborate hoax by one of the participants, Chris Sperling, on his deathbed. The creature was actually a toy submarine with a sculpted head. Nevertheless, this image helped popularize the Nessie image internationally. And despite the existence of known fakes and hoaxes, not all sightings and claims related to the Loch Ness Monster can be dismissed outright. Some witnesses may have genuinely seen something unusual or unexplained, even if their accounts are difficult to corroborate. Over the years, many official and unofficial searches have taken place to try and uncover the truth. Significant searches include Operation Deep Scan in 1987, when a team of researchers equipped with 24 boats with echo-sounding sonar equipment set out to sweep the length of the loch to detect any unusual creatures. While they registered some unexplained sonar contacts on 3 occasions, their findings remain inconclusive to this day. One sonar expert claimed this indicated there was something in the loch larger than a fish that could be a new species. But critics argue that various factors, including seals or logs or large debris, could have produced false sonar readings. Then there was the Quest Loch Ness Centre, Loch Ness Exploration Search in August 2023. It's the largest Nessie hunt in over 50 years. More than 100 volunteers helped document natural and unusual sights in Loch Ness. In addition, 300 volunteers monitored the live stream, searching for breaks in the water and inexplicable movements over a 2-day period. Drones equipped with infrared cameras were flown over the loch, and a hydrophone used to detect unusual underwater sounds. The search resulted in 4 distinct noises and several reports of possible sightings, but nothing was conclusive. However, they maintain that the data collected will require further evaluation yet, so there's a possibility there. 2018, Shy Kelly was taking photographs of her husband and daughter while on holiday and captured intriguing images of a strange eel-like creature briefly moving across 100 yards distance from the loch shore. Fearing public ridicule, she didn't share the images until the quest took place. Steve Feltham, recognised by the Guinness Book of Records for the longest continuous Loch Ness monster hunting vigil, which has been over 32 years he's been at it, hailed the photographs as the most exciting he'd ever seen. He remains convinced that there is something unexplained in Loch Ness. Well, the Loch Ness monster has been the subject of various theories regarding its true nature, and some of the most prominent include the plesiosaur theory, suggesting that Nessie is a surviving prehistoric marine reptile. Advocates point to the long neck and the humpback described in some sightings as reminiscent of a plesiosaur. However, the lack of physical evidence and the plesiosaur's presumed extinction for millions of years cast doubts on the hypothesis. A more optimistic viewpoint is that Nessie could represent an undisclosed species of aquatic creature, possibly adapted to the unique environment of Loch Ness. Proponents of this theory argue that new species are still being discovered in remote and inaccessible regions in the world. I wouldn't describe Loch Ness necessarily as being remote and inaccessible. Very big road goes past it. The lack of concrete evidence, such as carcasses or DNA samples, make it challenging to prove or disprove Nessie's existence definitely. Many reported sightings can be actually attributed to optical illusions or misinterpretations of natural phenomena, such as water ripples or hoaxes, further muddying the waters in search of Nessie. Since its first sighting, the legend of the Loch Ness Monster has inspired books and television shows and films, as well as sustaining a major tourism industry. While evidence overwhelmingly suggests that Nessie is likely to be fictional, sightings continue to create an aura of mystery surrounding Loch Ness, capturing imaginations worldwide. Is this fact or fantasy? I'll leave you to work that one out.
That was so interesting. I had no idea that the Loch Ness Monster originated in Scotland. Maybe it swims everywhere.
Well, I mean, it's Loch Ness. I mean, you know, it's got to be Loch Ness Monster. There's actually, I mean, there's another loch not that far away called Loch Morar. And that's more towards the east coast. Loch Ness is really sort of runs north to south almost, or northeast to southwest, really. In the Great Glen, and Loch Morar, the easternmost end of Loch Morar is not that far away, I suppose, geographically, as the crow flies from Loch Ness itself. And Morag, the Loch Morar monster, there's been a lot of sightings there as well, including from ministers of the cloth as well. And by a number of people, you know, groups of people together, coming out of church in the morning. And perhaps the communion wine might have been a little bit stronger than one. I don't know. But there we go. There's theories of subterranean tunnels connecting Loch Morar to Loch Ness as well. All these things, I suppose, are possible. So, you know, could there be commuting backwards and forwards? So, yeah, there we are. It's history is a mystery at times.
It so is. And I found it also interesting that fake news happens in every generation.
Oh, and we know somebody who keeps on about fake news, don't they?
That's right.
His name's in the news today.
Oh my goodness.
Speaking of which,
Speaking of, on this day.
on this day, yes, well, on this day, I know you've probably had election overload, but when I was researching for on this day, I actually came up with quite an incredible run of it. So here we go. So on this day in 1860, Republican Abraham Lincoln of Illinois was elected as the 16th President of the United States of America.
Wow.
And then on this day in 1928, Republican candidate Herbert Hoover is elected President of the United States, defeating Democrat candidate Al Smith. And on this day in 1940, Franklin D. Roosevelt was re-elected as US President. Then again in 1956, Dwight D. Eisenhower is re-elected as President of the United States, defeating Democrat candidate Adlai Stevenson. Then 1984, incumbent President Ronald Reagan was re-elected President of the United States, guess where? In a landslide win, 49 states, defeating Walter Mondale. So there we have it. And on this day, today, we have Donald Trump, president-elect. Wow. It's quite incredible, the coincidences there running right the way through. I mean, last week, I remember we did this on this day, and it was decidedly not the day to be a Canadian or a British Prime Minister, because there was 4 of them died on this day in various different years. So there we've got half a dozen. We've got 7 today. US presidents formed. So quite remarkable. Oh, sorry, there's another one here. In 2012, Barack Obama is re-elected as US president, defeating the Republican candidate Mitt Romney. So, you know, they keep popping out. So something about the 6th of November. I mean, we had yesterday was Guy Fawkes Day and the fireworks all over the world. So remember the 5th of November. Well, it's going to have to now be remember the 6th of November.
And I remember you brought up Ronald Reagan. So my husband was a diplomat at the time, and we were living in Manila. And he was going to be the spokesperson, and he was on television. And they predicted it was going to be a long night. But Ronald Reagan won so quickly that even the votes all the way out in California on the West Coast hadn't come in yet. But he had won by such a landslide.
Absolutely. I mean, 49 states.
Really fast.
There's no disputing that one. Now let's have a look at birthdays today.
Yes.
Well, we've got to go back a little bit for one. I mean, can't have it all modern times. So in the year 15 AD, Agrippina the Younger, who's Roman empress and sister of Caligula and wife of Claudius and mother of Nero, was born in Oppidum, BOEHM, which is now Cologne. It's much easier to say as well. Happy birthday, a long time ago. In 1854, well, we're getting back to the American side again. 1854, John Philip Sousa, the American composer and March King, famous for the Stars and Stripes Forever, born in Washington, D.C. He obviously knew a thing or two about presidential elections. 1946, Sally Field, the American actress in Forrest Gump, Gidget and Flying Nun, was born in Pasadena in California. She is 77 today. Happy birthday, Sally. So deaths today, not many. Surprisingly, well, there actually probably were quite a lot, but of importance. So in 1796, Catherine the Great, the German-born Empress of Russia, who expanded the Russian Empire, died of a stroke, aged 67. Then in 1893, Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky, the Russian composer of the 1812 Overture, the Nutcracker and Swan Lake, died of suspected cholera, aged 53. So there we have them for today. It's it's been quite an interesting research today into what happened on this day, and it's all centered around U.S. presidential elections.
Amazing. Totally amazing.
And even the composer of the Stars and Stripes. Yeah, I mean,
It's Scott Key, right? That's a great song. I work hard to try to get that high note. So, Simon, can you believe it's time to close out the show? So, what kind of words of wisdom do you have for us today?
Oh, well, just don't worry about the world coming to an end today, because it's already tomorrow in Australia.
You're always so good for a giggle. I don't know if everybody could hear me, but I was really giggling. That was good. Well, thank you, Simon, for another great show. Helena, we miss you. Looking forward to coming back. Thank you to all our viewers and listeners for joining us for the United Kingdom News and Culture. We truly appreciate you. And Simon, I'm looking forward to next week and all the great news you're going to bring us.
Well, let's see what's coming up next week then. I mean, I think for events, I think this is a difficult one to top. You know, just seven US presidents on the same day.
Well, I know I'm glad the commercials are going to be over. On that note, everybody, have peace and love and joy in your heart. And that's it for our show today.
We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents our partner and sponsor, Mr. Philip Sykes and the British School of Excellence. Building confidence, changing lives. And now, proudly presenting the Polished Professional.
On a transformative journey with the British School of Excellence's comprehensive suite of masterclasses, crafted to elevate your professional and personal life. 8 outstanding modules will elevate you to the next level. Module 1, Exploring Life's Purpose, delves into the depths of self-discovery, guiding you to chart your unique path to fulfillment and success. Module 2, Mastering Professional Presence and Confidence. This masterclass is a deep dive into the art of self-assurance and commanding presence, which is essential for standing out in today's competitive landscape. Module 3, Learn the secrets of visual impact, how to curate a personal style that amplifies your professional brand. Module 4, Mastering Professional Etiquette and Communication Excellence, navigating the nuances of corporate interaction with grace and tact. Module 5, Elegance in Eloquence. We impart powerful techniques to captivate and persuade any audience with your oratory skills. Module 6, Unlock the potential of your emotional intelligence, EQ, and harness the ability to connect, empathize, and lead with emotional savvy. Module 7, Mastering DISC, building a gateway to understanding behavioral styles, fostering better personal and professional relationships. Module 8, Mastery in Dining Etiquette, building your confidence to perfect the subtleties of dining with finesse, enhancing your social savviness at any table. Step into the Polished Professional program where poise, elegance, and excellence aren't just taught, they're instilled for life. Join us to redefine your potential and polish your professional edge.
To learn more, go to thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. The British School of Excellence are investors in people. Let us invest in you.